Hello, my name is Ben Fairman. This is my final project for CAD. It is a two-stroke engine, similar to what you'd find on um, a lawnmower, although this one has a flywheel instead of just basically a crankshaft. Um, the way it works, basically this flywheel spins, and that spinning is being powered by the internal piston, which if I show you a side view here, it shows you a little bit better of what it actually does. Basically, the cylinder comes up, causes compression, a spark plug fires, causes the piston to move down. As it's moving down, the pressure of the crankcase is pushing the fresh air in, which comes in through this valve, up through here, and then as it comes up, it pushes the exhaust valves out, the exhaust gas out, compresses the air and fuel, and at the top of the compression, the um, spark plug fires again, piston comes down, and that keeps happening over and over. That's why it's called a two-stroke engine, because everything happens within two strokes. Another thing you can see from the side view is the drain plug for the oil. I factor that into this design. That way, you know, if you were to actually build this engine, it would be functional, and you wouldn't have to take it all apart to add oil. Um, if I turn off the cross section, you can see the fill plug, which is just like a simple wing nut. Um, and from the outside, you can also see the transfer valve, the exhaust valve, and the intake valve. The most difficult part of this project was most likely designing these fins, these air cooling fins, but that was probably my favorite part. I used a linear pattern for that. Um, as far as the extrusions, simplest extrusion is probably the cylinder pin. Um, it's basically just a circle extruded out and then cut extruded to fit the profile of the cylinder. That way there wouldn't be any interference with the cylinder walls. Another feature is the the shell. The shell I used on the flywheel to sort of reduce the weight of the flywheel. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. It wasn't showing up there for a second, but um, I don't know why, but it is. Oh, there we go. Here you can see the shell. I put the shell on the flywheel. That way the flywheel would have a little bit less weight to it. That way hopefully the piston would be able to move without having to turn the entire weight of the flywheel. I also cut these grooves out of the flywheel. That was also for weight reduction. Um, for the loft, the best example of the loft is the crankcase. Is by far the most complicated part, but the loft, or the sweep, um, best example is this exhaust valve. I created a sketch that I wanted the loft to follow, and then I just extruded it along that path. And then I used that same sketch to cut out the valve. That way I didn't have to create two separate sketches for the exhaust valve. Um, as far as the pattern goes, I did a pattern on these threads. First, I actually did a mirror. I mirrored it to this side, and then I mirrored both of them to the other side. And those were just mirrored along the planes of the sketch planes. Did not have to create any reference geometry or anything like that. So that is my final project. Thank you for watching.